And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of the PiGosaur Monday number 22. Welcome back. Ooh, we are here to determine which of our two players will advance on the face-off against MaxPax in the grand finals. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have our South Korean Terran player, the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is herO. And if you're in the chat, it's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we jump into our TVP, as we jump into herO versus ByuN. Here we go. Now, when it comes to our setup here, I do see someone initially asking in the chat about no-show on 2 days, calendar broken. Yet to be updated. We should be having broadcasts on those 2 days. Most likely, that is going to be the Uthermal 2v2 replay cast. We have yet to receive the replays, but we'll probably get them in the next couple of days. So once we do, we will add that to the calendar. Likewise, we'll most likely also be having the Kung Fu Cup replay cast as well. So again, that is something that that should be on the horizon, is the Uthermal March edition of the 2v2 tournament. And likewise, for those who don't know, Kung Fu Cup is returning in a different form. Kung Fu Cup is a weekly tournament that is organized by SE Boy, by the Chinese scene, by the Chinese community, and they are actually going to be adjusting their format to go over and to host weekly events for StarCraft Evolution and for Warcraft 3 Evolution. So I believe they're going to be alternating back and forth. I think week 1 is SC Evo, week 2 is Warcraft 3 Evo, and they do alternate back and forth. So that's going to be the plan. Unfortunately, we will be casting it live next month, but this month we have those slots otherwise busy with other events. We're going to be casting the Rex March Madness live. We have some close ties to Rex, so I gotta be there for our boy, and that means because we're casting that event live, we won't be able to cast Kung Fu Cup live, so we're going to do that via replays. So most likely those 2 slots that you see open right now, once we get the replays, we will be filling those up with other casts. Just haven't put them there yet, just because we don't, like, the events haven't happened, we don't have the replays. But yes, they will most likely be cast those days. Don't worry. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to having a day off. I mentioned this before, but we haven't had a day off since December, so I wouldn't be opposed to it. Anyway, here he does poke out. Oh, he does delay the CC. Nice pick off, but the bunker does complete. It barely does finish. The bunker is done, Stalker is zoned away, and the Zealot is cleaned up. So ByuN does defend. He does defend, takes down Zealots. Here he commits, he wants that SCV. Oh, doesn't quite get it though. Yeah, Command Center does finish. And here he will delay some mining time, but the command center completes, which means we can morph it into an orbital. So far, nice defense here by ByuN. We can see herO is still rallying across the map, and behind this, taking up into a Twilight Council. So it's going to be a blink-based opener here by herO. Is settling in. Warcraft 3, yes. If you've been watching the channel, we have been casting some Warcraft 3 Evolution that is it is similar to StarCraft Evolution, where it is Warcraft 3 versus SC2. And honestly, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a very different dynamic. Yo, the heroes in Warcraft 3 are crazy, mate. Seeing the Mountain King come in, throw down a thunderclap, and one-shot like an army of lings is crazy. But yes, it's a very different dynamic. It's a lot of fun. We have been casting it on the channel. We've casted, I think, 2 events so far of Warcraft 3 Evolution this year. Do recommend it. It's definitely unique. Otherwise, again, ByuN, he does defend. He's getting to his opener. Behind this, it is going to be a 1-1-1 into Cloak Banshee, so a little bit more aggressive here by ByuN. First drop is going to be deflected. Did open up a Cyclone drop. But herO, he's keeping up time and time again. Again, there's a reason why herO is the #1 seed of the tournament. herO, he's favored among all other players here in tonight's broadcast. It's on ByuN to cause that upset, to bring herO down. We'll see if he can. So far, herO is keeping up with the drop play. Does zone ByuN back. herO taking his third. Again, more of a defensive setup here. Just 2 gate blink, sorry, 3. 3 gate blink stalkers into that third. And now that the prism has arrived, herO he can push. Meanwhile, ByuN setting up. He's got his tank behind the wall. You can see, unlike Cure, ByuN's tank is further back, behind that wall off, is safer, is more secure. Likewise, Bunker at the natural, and the Banshee does hit the natural. And Cloak is done. Do we have any detection? We do. But the observers are across the map. Observers are across the map. We need a recall. Banshees, they get 3. They get 4 probe kills already, and here he commits. He tries to. Does try to commit. Picks up a couple of SCVs. This is okay damage, going for the Cyclone. Cyclone goes down as well. Blinking further in, does get the medevac. Very nice. Medevac does fall. At the same time, the Banshee is dealt with. Observer did come back home in time. And herO defends. Here he bleeds out 7 probes, but he does do some equivalent damage across the map. But more importantly, snipes the medevac, snipes the Cyclone. Ooh. Does pull away. So we got a nice defense and aggression here from herO. ByuN back at home did struggle a little bit more. Still has that second Banshee. And still has potential, depending on where the observer is. But now there's 3 observers on the map. herO, he is in position. Oh. Banshee getting called out. Pivots back into the main. Oh, with that blink though, it looks like the Banshee, yeah, it's gonna go down. Brutal pick off here. 2 Banshees for 7 probes. That is not worth it for ByuN, bearing in mind that he did delay his own medevac production. He delayed any star probe production in favor of those Banshees. Likewise, invest into Cloak as well. Now he's breaking out, and we'll see what he can get done. Ooh, ByuN is committed. ByuN, he is committed. Moves out with the tank as well. Moves out with everything. Oh. ByuN does stim in. He gets punished, medevac falls. And the tank is unable to unload. Here he's just all over this. The observer did see the army. And ByuN gets punished. From here, herO taking the center expansion. herO once again does engage, takes down another medevac. Here pulling away, ByuN stims in. Again, here he has to buy a little bit more time here before his Colossus arrives. Without the Colossus, he can't really fight this head on, but the Colossus is about to pop out. And herO gets away with the 4th. 4th base is getting up. herO settles in. The game will continue. ByuN getting his own 3rd base, herO getting a 4th, so herO is keeping up economically. If you recall, this is something that we mentioned when it came to Geralt series, how Geralt, because of ByuN's drop play and because Geralt was having a harder time keeping up with it, Geralt, he was stuck on 3 bases that much longer, right? He lost workers, he lost mineral lines, he was stuck on 3 bases, his 4th was very late. Here, as ByuN gets his 3rd, herO gets his 4th, so herO, he is keeping up economically. Is keeping up. Likewise, thanks to the observers, of course, he has seen all the move outs, he's seen all the drop play, and ByuN, he has not gotten the damage he was hoping for. From here, we build back up. Now getting into Ghosts. Ghosts are on the way, Vikings are on the way. Here, he maintains map control, now going for a 5th expansion. I would say this is greedy here from herO, getting to a 5th, but the reasoning for this is because, do you see what I see? Still no gases. We still have no gases here at the 3rd base, of course no gas at the 4th, only 1 gas at the 3rd, still a very low gas count here, still very Zealot and Gateway centric. He's only making 1 disruptor at a time, but there it is. Now we get the 2nd robo, and now we can start to take more gases. 2nd robo is for double disruptor production. We're not there yet, but we're getting there. And ByuN needs to be active. Right now, he's still stuck at home. herO, he's the first to max out. ByuN is contained. ByuN is going to be contained here. Both players are maxing. When it comes to our maxed out armies, I do think that herO's army is lacking. He does have double robo, that is true, but he only has 2 disruptors. He has 2 disruptors, he has 2 colossus. Again, he's very reliant on these zealots. He's very zealot heavy here. So ByuN has more potential, especially with his EMPs. Never goes up. No connections. That's going to be both disruptors on cooldown. Likewise, herO coming in from behind. Getting ready for a surround. He does collapse in. Yeah, comes in from behind. Colossus on the flank as well. A ghost going to be falling. Gets 1 ghost. Gets 1 ghost. herO, he pulls away. No major losses. Making more disruptors. herO pushing in once again. Good mind connection. Mind shot goes up as Elsa even coming from behind once again. 1 Colossus falls, the other wasted DPS. Yeah, Colossus a little bit too far behind, but despite that, still trades well. Boys are being pulled. More Zealots coming in. Colossus is going to fall, but this is just too much damage. Here he breaks through the defensive line, takes down a full medevac. Ghost count was reset, and he just breaks the 3rd. GG gets called. herO, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Very strong early to mid game there from herO. Basically, ByuN, he was trying to be aggressive. Remember, ByuN, he opened up with a Cyclone drop into Cloak Banshees, into Bio drops, into the main base, into the 3rd, and there weren't really any clashes because every time herO was there. herO, he was there to shut it down, to force it back, to clean up those drops, and to contain ByuN on those 3 bases. ByuN attempted aggression, he attempted harassment. It did fail though. Part of that, of course, was the map vision that herO had. Thanks to his observer placement, thanks to his army positioning as well, he did see most, if not all, of those move outs, and he was able to shut them down. Likewise, with that herO, he was able to get a 4th base on time. He was able to take a faster 5th, be the first to max. GG. GG, well played. So a lot of momentum in favor of herO. We mentioned at the time, again, the investment into the Cloak Banshees just wasn't worth it for ByuN. Didn't get enough damage. And that leads us into game number 2. Let's go. Leads us into game 2. Is this a game mode where they start with 3 to 12 workers and random minerals / gas? No. We haven't showcased that on this channel. I think some of the YouTubers have, like Pig, maybe Loco, maybe Winter. I would imagine they would have jumped on that. But we haven't had any tournaments featuring that yet. No tournaments. Looks like our command isn't working in YouTube chat, so I got you. I got you. But it's an interesting idea. I haven't looked into that mod myself. I'm still not sold on the concept of starting with a low worker count. I do like the idea though of day 9 suggestion, right? Day 9 suggestion of having a random worker count start. I think it's really interesting. I like the idea, but I haven't like seen its execution, so I don't know. I don't know if it's a positive thing or not. Like I'm not married to the idea of if it is or if it isn't. Haven't seen it. But I like the idea, in general. Spawning in the top left-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back, we'll see if he can force the ace match. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss. Leading the series 1-0, it is herO. Okay. This is already the semis, so the winner plays against MaxPax in the grand finals. Yes. If you wind back in the video, we already covered the lower semifinals. We already casted MaxPax versus Cure, so that is available to you if you wish to tune in. We did already cover that series. And we are here in the upper semis. And we'll see if ByuN can bounce back, because he does open up double gas. Okay, double gas opener out of ByuN, going for a faster factory, a much more aggressive build here from our Terran player. Much more aggressive. From here, he can go into an early Cyclone drop. He can go into Cloak Banshees again, which weren't too successful last game. We can go for an early tank push. I mean, this can be much more effective, though, on a smaller map. Welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. This is the smallest map in the current map pool. This is a rush map known for aggression, and we have seen a lot of tank drops and all-ins here on Whispers of Gold. So we'll see if ByuN embraces that as well. We'll see if he does go for his own aggressive build. Meanwhile, herO does open up Zealots. As we saw in the last game, the goal here for the Zealot is to disrupt the opener, is to delay the CC. But here he does cancel, actually. Okay, does cancel, goes for his natural. So it looks like this was more of a safety Zealot in case it was a proxy. Does cancel, goes for the command center, sorry, goes for the Nexus, and he will get into his Sentry as a follow-up. So very safe play here from herO. Meanwhile, ByuN, Reactor first into Reactor Reaper. Now, when I say safe opener, the power of the Sentry early on is the Hallucination, as we can see here. Is the Hallucination Scout. This will see everything. Typically, the Terran player can lock down the ramp and deny any kind of scouting into the main base. That is not the case here, not by herO, not with a Sentry opener. So essentially, Hallucination comes in, confirms the double gas, confirms the factory, confirms the add-ons as well, and even confirms the timing of the CC and the double Reaper. So here he's aware of what's coming out across the map. Back at home, he's got a Stalker, a Stargate opener. Bold move. This is a very, very bold move here by herO. It is risky to begin with opening up Stargate just because you are vulnerable to early game aggression. Likewise, even riskier going Stargate specifically on this map on Whispers of Gold. Now, so far it is unscouted. True, it is unscouted. But ByuN, once he does realize what's going on, he can react and can try to punish. He does attempt to poke in, pulls away. And he does pull away. Meanwhile, from here, it's not going to be an Oracle opener, going to be Phoenixes. He's banking them up. And remember, ByuN, he does not know. He hasn't seen the main base. He has no idea as to what's going on. Catching up in the chat. Isn't that super late for MaxPax? He's in EU, right? MaxPax, he is one of the few DE gens in EU where MaxPax, he wakes up like at 3 p.m., like 3 p.m. in the evening, maybe 2 on a good day. But MaxPax, he does wake up late and he stays up late. So MaxPax, he's one of the regulars here for the NA Open Cup. It was the same thing with the ESL Open Cup Americas as well, where MaxPax, he's very used to playing like at 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. Like that's where he thrives. In recent times, herO has done the same, actually, as Widowmine drop does come in, is going to be shut down by the Phoenixes. Again, ByuN, he had no idea about the Phoenix opener is going to be shut down completely. There's no escaping this. The medevac will fall. It's a massive catch here from herO. Remember, ByuN, he blindly went for the mine drop, didn't know what was happening, didn't know what was going on until now. And the problem here is that, again, this is a late reaction, a late response. Typically, by now, we would already see a Cyclone, but we went tank first. Tank into a reaction, into Cyclone, into Vikings. Phoenixes, they gain map control, and so far, here he's getting away with his opener. But I was getting at herO. herO, he's also, over the past, I want to say month, maybe 4 weeks. Over the past 4 weeks, herO, he has been playing in all 3 Open Cups as well. Korea, into EU, into Americas. herO actually hasn't slept. He hasn't slept. It's like midday. It's midday in Korea, and he's been up all night playing in tournaments. And so is MaxPax as well. Like MaxPax and herO, they've gone full degen this week, as they usually do. ByuN as well. I believe ByuN also does this. There's a few key amount of players. There's players like herO, ByuN, Geralt is another one, Nicaract, sometimes Wayne, sometimes Clem, and yeah, there's like a handful of players. A handful of players that play in everything. The DGen's back. They're committed. They're passionate. They're passionate. Now though, herO does move out. Again, here he has gained map control. As a reminder, a big reason for this, and a big reason why we don't often see Stargate openers into Colossus, which is very outdated, is that it is risky and it is a little bit easier for the Terran player to punish this and to abuse this only if they scouted. ByuN never did. He did with the mine drop, and with that, late scouts, late reaction, ByuN is contained, and it's going to be on ByuN to break out. To attempt to, at least. Meanwhile, herO again is being greedy, rushing into Colossus production, and once the Colossus count builds up, then he's going to be safe against any kind of aggression from ByuN. So Phoenix is there on patrol. ByuN, he's splitting up his army in between his bases, throwing down turrets. Once Dim and combat shields complete, then ByuN can start to expand and get his third, and he might commit to a push. And that will be the moment that herO needs to be ready with his ground army. With his charge lots and his Colossus. herO breaks in. Swan gets to ACVs. Breaks the lock on. And will get away. So no losses there from herO. Again, trying to be active. We can see herO, he has an observer on the right, he has an observer on the left, he's covering most of the attack paths. He doesn't see the attack path on the left-hand side, but again, for the most part, he is active and he does catch out the observer, sorry, the Widowmine with the observer. Oh. Mine shot is not going to go off. But ByuN is going into ByuN mine. Stim is done, now we can expand. Ghosts are on the way. And as ByuN takes his third, again herO takes his fourth. So herO is keeping up economically. Looks like he's looking to diversify splash damage. This time, instead of going into Disruptors, going into Storm. Temple Archives on the way. There are pros and cons. Of course, High Templar are more vulnerable to EMPs. But Storms, they also attack air units as well. Storms are also instant, as opposed to the Nova. As herO does catch out the Marines. Nice catch for herO. That's gonna get updated soon. 2 seconds. There we go. Catching 9 Marines. Nice catch there for herO. herO, meanwhile, getting into a fourth Jesus, getting up to 4 Colossi. Now, this is a recent trend that's been happening. When it comes to the TVP meta and how it's been evolving over the past year, now players are playing a lot more Marauder heavy, so it is more viable to get a fourth Colossus instead of staying on 3 against more Marauder heavy compositions. So we've seen a fourth Colossus a little more often than we used to. Then into Disruptors. MP goes off. Does graze the Phoenixes. Meanwhile, shots getting wasted here on the depots. Not on the main army. Gets 1 depot. Going for the mineral line. herO pulls away. SCVs are falling. herO claiming a 5th expansion. Taking advantage of that map control. No fear. Catches out the Viking. Phoenix goes for the dive. Yeah, he commits. Does commit in. Boys are being pulled. And here he breaks through. Breaks through the defensive line. Takes down every single SCV. 32 SCV is going to be falling. He loses one Colossus. He has 3 left over. Plenty of Colossi. Plenty of lasers. And ByuN is hurting. ByuN, he's hurting here. He's contained. Bleeding out far too much. Again, here he got away with that Phoenix opener. Got away with a lot of greed. And herO, thanks to his greater economy, is going to be the first to max out. Going to be the first to remax. Does spot the army. He wants it. Has respect to this. Still a lot of Marauders. You can see here he is rebuilding his 4th Colossus. He loses 1. Army dives in, charge, let's say do wreak havoc. So he's being forced back. It's being forced back home. As the Viking count hits critical mass, that's where here he has to just deviate away from Colossus entirely into more disruptors. But it's still only 3 Vikings. Still manageable. Rotating, double expanding. Oh my god. Getting a 6th and 7th expansion. Jesus. Building towards 7 bases. Again, we saw something similar here between Kira and Max on ley lines. Where once a Protoss gets map control, they take advantage of it completely. Every base on the map. Here we're just collapsing in. Colossus, they do spend their shots here on the CC, not on the army. So again, I would say wasted DPS here. Here we're rotating over. Viking count looking a little more healthier. Colossus finally going to be going down. This is going to be a rough fight for herO. It does overextend. Bleeds out the Disruptor, the Immortal, 2 of the Colossi, or at least 1. Not a bad fight for ByuN. He trades well. ByuN takes a good fight. herO taking another extend. Just taking more bases. Let's take more Nexus. Aye, aye, aye. But out in the open, that's where herO can thrive. So ByuN has to be so careful. As herO, he's now just focusing on purely disruptor reinforcements. I would say at this point, herO, he needs gases. There we go. As if on cue, gases are now on the way. That's been really slowing herO down when it comes to his remax. You can see here, he has to rely on mainly Zealots, and he can barely even afford double robo production. He can make 1 disruptor right now. I mean, he's maxed. The gas is lacking. Gases are lacking. Soon to be saturated. herO is maxed and he should be trading. He should be looking for these fights. Otherwise, he's going to allow ByuN to recover, and ByuN, he's almost maxed out himself. Yeah, herO a little bit too passive. Trying to rush forward. Never goes off. Oh, nice blitz. Meanwhile, we're coming from behind. Yeah, nice catch here from ByuN. Does come in, collapse on the disruptors. Novas do not connect. And ByuN does take a much better trade here, a much better engagement. herO pulling away, bleeds out the Colossus, and herO, he has to race all the way back home. Does race back. Again, herO, he lost a lot of his high-tech units. He survives with 1 Archon and 1 Disruptor. And of course, his Gateway Army. But those were expensive losses. ByuN, he's back in this. He's back in this game. Getting his 4th base fully saturated. herO does have to be careful here. That's a lot of Zealots, jeez. that's a lot of Zealots. And he wants those ghosts. He gets one, he gets 3. He gets all 4. Massive pickoffs. Takes down the ghost, collapse on the marauders. Pulling away. Back into Colossus. Back into the Colossus production, likewise Stalkers they poke in towards the left hand side. We're pushing in, catching out the Vikings. CMP here on the disruptors. ByuN comes in from behind. Can he get the surround? Oh, the surround is a little bit mistimed, but he will get on top of the disruptors. Nova's going to be going off, and we get some okay connections. But the surround does collapse in, and here he will lose everything here. The disruptors, the zealots, the stalkers as well, they try to escape. Here he gets 20 SCVs. Let's get the hell out of here. And here again, his gas income is very limited. He's remaxing with zealots, with a couple of Colossus. Still very close fights, still very close armies. I would actually favor ByuN here until the disruptors come out. And here he has to back off. The base is going to fall. ByuN knocks down the expansion. Takes it as his own. Now this is buying time. herO coming from behind. Collapsing the army. With these reinforcements, does he have enough? ByuN diving on that Colossus. Not quite able to. He fights well. Gets the Nexus. Gets the base. Diving further in. Goes for the Disruptor. Disruptor goes down as well. Very nice pickups. As here he's running out of zealots, but another Colossus comes in. And another as well. Up to 3. He's got 3 Colossus. GG gets called. He overwhelms. He does have enough. And herO, he will take the series 2-0. Advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. We had a very nice surround from ByuN, where ByuN he was able to get a full surround, able to clean up the army. Unfortunately, you could argue that was too late. That was too little too late. The problem there was that herO, he had so many bases and he had a greater economy, so he could just rebuild. He can just rebuild over time. Sure, herO, he lost an expansion. He lost a base, he lost a Nexus, but that was buying time. That was buying time, buying enough time for herO to mass up those Colossus once again and to reinforce with more zealots. Time was on herO's side, not on ByuN. GG. GG, well played. ByuN, he will take it. Sorry, herO will take it, herO will advance on, and ByuN is knocked out of the tournament. And from here, we're getting into the grand finals. Again, we did expect both herO and MaxX to face. They are the #1 and #2 seed in the tournament, and alas, they could not be stopped. They could not be stopped, as they are facing off in that best of 5.